Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Once in the Morning from the Arizona Desert. My name is Tom, and welcome to my debut. Things have been all over the place this morning. Oh, things disconnected, can't find USB cables, mic not working. So I think that we've got everything worked out, but right now I don't even know because I'm not even monitoring what I'm doing. So currently we're off to a merchant to go pick up an order. Done two orders already this morning. One was canceled because it was a afternoon menu for McDonald's, which obviously they can't fulfill. So let's see where we're going here. I have to turn down the volume on that. All right. So graphics need to be done. You can see that I'm in black and white, and that's because we're using a infrared camera so that you can see me at nighttime. So not sure if we're going to turn on Uber Eats today. We've activated the account, we've set up the banking and all that type of stuff, but I'm feeling a little anxiety, just like coming up on the stage right now. There's just a little bit of anxiety, and with everything that's going on right now, with trying to launch this and seeing if things are working, I just don't know if I want that additional stress. So the last 3 weeks have just been a whirlwind, a dust devil in the desert, if you will. And things have changed from just having a vehicle to setting up a studio and ordering parts, and they're the wrong parts, and configuring them and making sure that they're compatible, and positioning things and lighting and sound. So just so much going on. Hey, Blue, welcome. So yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting start to everything. We're off to pick up a Filiberto's order. Occasionally, you're going to hear stuff like that. Hey, Sean. Good morning, sir. How are you? Morning, Sean. So we're trying to get this thing launched, Sean. Not sure if it's going to have any hiccups or not, but I appreciate both of you stopping in first thing this morning. As you can tell, we're black and white right now because we're using an infrared camera so that you can see me in the dark. It's currently 5 o'clock in the morning here, 8 o'clock on the East Coast in Sean's time. Appreciate that, Sean. Appreciate that. Go jump in the shower. Don't want to be stinking up when you're honking your horn out there in Boston, Massachusetts. Good luck to you, sir. Thanks for stopping by. So, like we were saying, we had one order we fulfilled first thing this morning, and then we're trying to set up everything, see if everything's working. Can't find cables, can't find audio. Getting all that type of stuff set up, and then we get a McDonald's order, and it's the afternoon lunch menu. So both of the orders were from McDonald's, and McDonald's usually will tell you that they don't have it, and then you got to tell them to look on their tablet. Oh, you just got out of the shower. Got out of the shower. Well, then you must be smelling wicked good, then, my friend. Sorry, I'm still trying to learn how to watch this monitor drive down the road. Everything's crazy. I was saying that I don't know if I'm going to be turning on Uber Eats. That was the goal today. I might turn it on later on in the evening, but we're going to be turning on Expedite to see if we can try and land some type of a catering job for the next day. And I guess I should probably start setting up this other view here while we're in transition. Another camera into this mix. Give me 1 second. All right. If that will work or not. That's an interesting view. That's not what I want. Side by side. Well, it looks like OBS has changed some things, which is interesting. So we're gonna switch over to that. Switch over to that. Give you a driver's view as well as the dash cam. As you can see, the sun's just starting to rise here in Arizona. The beautiful desert of Arizona. You get just about any environment that you would like here in Arizona. I'm going to mute my mic here real quick. We're here at Filiberto's picking up an order for a customer. You liking that, Blue? I appreciate that. So we kind of went with a theme of once in the morning because everything starts with once. Once you get started, once you make a decision. All right, so we got that order on board. Gotta do a little positioning, got our water. I don't know if the sound is synced up with my actual live stream because obviously I'm monitoring it on YouTube. Here, let me give you another view. Let me give you another view. All right, so this is our current view. Let me pull it up on stage. So you can see that this is me driving down the road, but I've also got my whole computer set up. And I'm not sure if the camera needs to be aligned here slightly. Just don't want to show the customer's information. But Yeah, we got our catering bag, got our laptop, got a secondary phone over here, possibly for navigation. We got our stream going here that we're monitoring, and then over here to the left is my actual work phone. And that, of course, has got all the private information. So I'm just kind of leaving that off of the screen. And then up above, I've got a Starlink, and that's where the infrared camera is as well. So I got a bunch of shielding and stuff to block off any sunlight coming in. But yeah, that's what we got going on so far. So this is where I'm working the magic. This is where I'm able to multitask. I'm able to bring up desktop views. Yeah, it reminds me of a cop car. Yeah, so I can shut off the light here as well and turn it on. But it's amazing. I'll have cars that are just getting ready to fly by me. I mean, they're flying by me, and all of a sudden, they see the glow inside of the car, and they come to a screeching halt. They try to peek inside to see, what's going on. Some will still sit there, others won't. I've had people ask me if I was FBI, CIA, but yeah, it's interesting. It's fun. It took a while. It took a while to get it all set up. But I think ultimately it'll be well worth it. And as we get into a groove, then there again is once we get this into a routine, once we establish our protocol, then I think everything will go smoothly. The goal is to do 3 different live sessions, per day. I've got 3 different shows, once in the morning, one set for catering, and then once dinner has been served. And, then I'm supposed to be making a journey through the desert video first thing in the morning. I'm supposed to be doing a nightly numbers after we wrap up everything for the day, and then possibly tracking the numbers. The challenge right now is adding Expedite and adding hey Connor, welcome in. Adding Expedite and adding Uber Eats obviously is going to change the numbers, and it's like, well, where am I going to have time? Where am I going to have time to work on those numbers? And that's part of the challenge. We switch back over to the street view. See if that works. There we go. So we're back over in the street view. Popcorn so early in the morning, Connor. Popcorn so early in the morning. See if that. So I probably should have entered my information into my Beams app that I use for locating apartments. Go, go, go. Give me 1 second, folks, and I'll see what's going on. I'm trying to multitask. Just don't like trusting DoorDash's pin locations. I really don't like wasting my time, if you know what I mean. We've got our jug of water. That's one of the most important things here in the desert is to stay hydrated. So, pardon me. Cheers. Does the audio seem like it's synced up with my mouth in the video, or is there a delay? Welcome to the 4 people who are watching. Appreciate you joining me this once in the morning debut. Things are changing. My schedule is changing. I used to work from 6 o'clock in the morning until midnight, and then I found that trying to get all of this stuff done, I was just constantly oversleeping, which then was having effects on other areas and just a little frustrating. There's the apartment complex. 1 second. And then we still have some Starlink things to fix. So I'll be right back. Not happy with the Starlink setup. So you think it's synced? I appreciate that, Blue. That was a frustrating start to my morning. It's been a frustrating start to the morning. from a canceled order to a person early in the morning setting it up as a handed to me order, and then not coming to the door. You never want to like bang on the door and start calling and irritating the customer, set off their day. You know, it's just, why am I being put into this awkward situation? Of course, he's half asleep, and it's like, what's your PIN number? And, he's like, I think it's this. I was like, the last four of your phone number. Yeah. It's like, thank you. Oh, wrong turn. What is it they say? Laugh now, laugh later, just laugh. Even if you get irritated and frustrated over a situation, when you look back at it, you'll end up laughing. So why not just cut to the chase and just laugh at the beginning? Hi. Got some people walking their dogs out here this morning. All right. So kind of a slow start. This morning. We're a little bit behind. We shouldn't be, except for a canceled order. And I was not about to call the AI support agent, try and fight for half pay. So it's like, whatever. It's like, whatever. So you can see the sun starting to come on out. We're starting to get blue skies. .325 going 2.7 miles, and guess what? That's under my 350 under 5 by a quarter, and I'm holding true to my strategy, and that is a decline. So sometimes, you have to hold true to what your strategy is. And it's like, yeah, but it's just a quarter. It's just a quarter, Tom. Now you may see a flicker. We're still trying to resolve that, and that's because of a sensor that's up here on the camera, and it's trying to check out the daylight. And I may have a solution for that. I just need to pull over and stop and figure that out. I'm looking for some type of a little gel cap or something to put over the sensor and just manually control the switch. I've looked for a software solution, something that I can connect the camera to and then manually turn on and turn off night and day mode. But what ends up happening, I've tried a rubber band over the sensor. That wasn't working. So pardon me as I put my finger in your face. Let's see if we can walk that out just slightly. Sure. This is a challenge with using a infrared. That's one of the challenges. The other challenge is when you've got cameras that are facing each other, you can't see the infrared light that is producing, but the other camera will pick it up. And so you look at the view of one camera and you'll see just this big white dot. And so you've got to position and put a shield up in order to be able to block that light coming directly into the other camera, because it'll fake out the sensor. Just it was fun. It was fun to find just the right camera angles And now we're just trying to find a solution to be able to manually control this so I can sit down and go, okay, you know what? There's enough light out here that it's not going to trigger, or a headlight or something along those lines. Yep, it's 5:25 blue. It's sun's rising. Things are happening here in Arizona. So we're a little bit behind the eight ball, but I've always learned over the last couple of years, not always learned, but I have learned over the last couple of years that even if you're below the minimum of the $20 an hour, DoorDash eventually will catch you up. And it's kind of like you're faithful, so we're gonna correct the situation. But then again, did I just piss off the system, the programming, because obviously there's not too many people out yet. It's only 5:30. One of the one of the potential benefits of starting early is you're out in front of the pack, kind of like the early bird gets the worm. And there is a chance that that may produce more morning catering or large orders, as people are ordering, large amounts of donuts, bagels from Einstein's, et cetera, et cetera. Um, Large orders from Starbucks. So that may also open up the door to some early morning catering type stuff. One of the reasons for switching the schedule was, like I was saying, I was falling asleep. I was oversleeping past my scheduled time. And so it's like, how can I not make everybody else come to me, to solve my problem, even though I'm the breadwinner in the family? But what can I do, and what can I do to come up with a solution to put myself in the way of you, so that it really isn't that much of a burden and not going to create a fight, within the family. And what I figured out was everybody's up until 4 o'clock. So instead of trying to ask them to stay awake to keep me, or to help me get up at and out the door by 6, my regular schedule, my previously regular schedule, it's like, you're up until 4 o'clock. I want to be up and out the door by 3:30. So can you just wake me up and make sure that my feet are, on the ground? And yeah, there was no problem there. Before, it was kind of like trying to change the schedule. It would then have a ripple effect, because it would affect my daughter, who's doing, online education. And mom would have to be up to make sure that things were on task there, and the schedules, would be askew, a miss. So, well, if you just joined us, welcome. We're just sitting here right now. We declined a 325 going 2.7 miles, I think it is. I guess we probably should test this other solution that we have here while we're sitting here doing nothing. Can I make our time productive? Give me one. So depending on what's going on, we do have the ability to. There's that. There's a screen. I can go on over here, and I can say share my screen. Didn't work. Give me 1 second. We're still working on some details. There it is. Give me 1 second. Okay, so we're going to change the view here, see if we can give you a glimpse here. And then we have the ability to do that. So now we can actually show you, what the actual offer was. So that was a 325 going 2.7 miles. And then we have the ability, they've changed something here. All right, Sean, be safe out there on the road, my friend. Come on over here. Let's see a comment from Sean. He's getting ready to head on out. He says that he's jealous and he definitely needs a computer in the car. Yeah, that would probably be a wicked idea. And this probably could be supercharged too, Sean, if you actually did OBS. It's just trying to find the time to learn that is a little bit difficult. So, just I need 3 of me, Sean, to actually match the vision of what I want to do. I need like 3 of me. But like there's the actual offer. So I can throw this up on stage and say, would you take this offer? Why or why not? I can tell you what, I did, and I can throw up the reply as to why I actually declined this offer. It doesn't meet my minimum requirements. It could be I declined it for a pickup location, a drop-off location. I accepted the offer, but yeah, anything that's 350 over 4 excuse me, under 350 or over 4 miles, and it's a decline. So we're going to jump back over to the screen here. You can see that I can flip through this here. All I'm doing is replicating what's actually happening, on my phone. So you'll be able to see the next offer that comes in. 7 people. I appreciate you coming in and joining us this morning. Probably. All right. So as you can see, we're getting an offer 850 going 4.3 miles. That's an accept. So we're gonna take a screenshot of that. I take a screenshot of everything, and jump back on over here. All right, so we're off to the races. I could have done the, would you accept that or not? Again, it's just getting into the workflow. Just trying to show you what it is that we have. One other thing that we were going to do, let me look over here. Media resources. All right, we don't need that going on. hearing that. I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, Sean, if you ever do listen to this again, or if you're still monitoring on your way out, but laptop need inverters, so you're going to have to buy a DC to AC inverter, so that you can plug your laptop in to keep it charged. Laptop stand, stabilization, lighting for your keyboard, or buying a laptop that's got a lit up keyboard, and you don't need an external light, because it's really if you're out late at night, it's like trying to type, you got to turn on your dome light, and it's a pain, it's a hassle. So we're off to Starbucks here to go pick up. Things have changed with StreamYard. I was trying to watch a video of some of the changes yesterday. Saw that Kendra was live, so I abandoned that video and went over to watch her, working the treadmill and doing her live presentation, which is always fun. It's always fun to watch Kendra laughing and bringing joy to the world. If you ever need a pick-me-up, Kendra's your girl. I just got a little stare down there, but we're good. So we're going to run in here to Starbucks to go pick up, and I will be right back. Still don't know why I'm not getting any sound. Can you guys hear sound or not? Fade track in. Time to play with this. I'll have to do a test video. I'm delivering a Starbucks order is what I'm doing, Connor. So just picked up Starbucks. You do hear sound. You hear the music playing in the background? I appreciate that, Connor. Thanks for taking care of that. Alright, so we gotta put in the apartment complex here. It's actually a house, a gated community, so we don't have to do that. I just assumed I saw the gate. I saw the gate code and I made an assumption. Toyo's in the house. Yeah, we used to be able to, I used to be able to hear the sound while it was playing. I'm not sure why I'm not able to anymore. Like I said, I don't know if they've changed everything inside of StreamYard. I know that they're doing some cosmetic stuff. Supposedly on different banners and stuff up there, actually looks like you got a little buffering going on. So automatically correct. I'm looking into possibly getting a router and putting the router inside and disabling that functionality of the Starlink. In a sense, letting the Starlink do what it does best, not being a Wi-Fi system, not being a router, sorting out packets and that type of stuff, but letting it connect to a satellite. That's what it does best. So the idea is disabling all that inside of the Starlink, letting it take all of its resources to focus. Let it focus on connecting to the satellite, and then letting a router that's designed to do routing route. And so the challenge is that maybe a couple $100 to maybe give us a benefit, maybe not. So do I want to drop those funds when we're ultimately trying to get out of debt? So Toyo, after you're done dropping off the catering order, share the details. Let us know what you're doing. How well did it go? Was it smooth? Were you happy with the payout? Beep, 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 beep. That's what happens when you forget to use your turn signal and you got all sorts of sensors in your car that are telling you that you're crossing over a lane that, what was it, Danger Will Robinson. So of course, got too much daylight, and I have to switch over from night mode on the phone to day mode so that I can see the screen. Sometimes the lighting in the Arizona desert is just so bright and so overpowering. You don't have the ability to work in night mode when you've got something that's glaring on your screen. Yesterday was tough. Yesterday was transition day. Yesterday was going from 6 to midnight to 4 to 10. And I actually had to take a nap in the middle of the day just because I only got like an hour and a half, 2 hours sleep the night prior. But I got full rest last night. One of the other challenges for me is working this many hours. Anytime the sunlight comes up, it makes me squint. And obviously, wearing glasses, I'd have to buy transition lenses, which I never had. I may think that they're the bomb if I ever did get them, but I've never had them. And so I just can't throw on a pair of sunglasses because then I can't see. And can't see and driving is not a good combination. I think you'll agree. So once you wake up, once you get out of bed, once you jump in the shower, once you get that cup of coffee, once you turn on YouTube, once you start listening to a show like this, once you contribute, the show is yours. Where do you want to take it? What do you want to talk about? Now, I am not the expert, but I also have the ability to bring you on stage. I can share a link and teach you what you need to do. So, and then you can be a part of the conversation. That's always fun as well. So I'm entering in the code here to gain access to the key. I love that chime noise. I love that chime noise. It breeds success. You've entered the numbers successfully. You may pass. Enter the community. And truth be told, I probably already had that in my database. I've got a list of probably 99.9% of every gate codes that I've ever gotten for all the communities in this zone. But as mentioned earlier, this is where we're going to transition between daytime and nighttime. Is there enough light to stay lit or not? Still kind of in a pre-sunrise state. Go from color to black and white, color to black and white. I will come to you. So you're probably also noticing the word once is like all over my branding, from my email address to the shows. And that's because Once Media, Once Consulting Group, Once Helped. Once is an acronym from Rockefeller, who said that the key to success is to own nothing, yet control everything. I was like, well, that just kind of means that if you really want your once upon a time to become a reality, then maybe you should really tap into this once concept. And it's like we own YouTube, but yet we control what we put on YouTube. We don't own Facebook. We don't own our house, that we're turning into an Airbnb or a second house or whatever. We don't own our car. So really you own nothing, but you control what you do with it and if you can make some additional income off it. So I will be right back and I'm going to drop this off. I always send a message to the customer saying that good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And then I let them know that I'm getting ready to walk onto their property and I'm following their drop-off instructions. That means that I actually read their instructions. And they know that. And they know that I'm not just some stranger walking onto their property, even though they've already ordered something. I will be right back. live in a remote area. $30 for 9 miles. That's not bad. It's a place called, what was it? Let me throw this up here. Playables. Smoothie type stuff. So do you have, if it's like smoothie type stuff, do you have like a special carrier to carry like 8 cups at a time, or how do you manage your multiple drinks without spilling them in your car, as Sean would say? We don't speak that way, so I'm not gonna tap into Sean's little branding there. I don't mean to patronize him by saying his little thing, but it is funny. He's done really well as far as tapping into the car and Wicked Smart, all that type of stuff. It is Bostonian, and so why not use it? It's something that's in your environment. I'm tapping into all of my resources from being a delivery driver for 35 years and doing this type of stuff, from working with being a dispatcher for a courier service and understanding the positioning of drivers throughout the valley in order to meet the mission. Was make your own. What was that? Let me show this up here. Oh, I see. So they're making their own stuff. So really, you're kind of setting up the little smorgasbord of all the different stuff, the granolas and spoons, syrups, etc. Huh. Now, do they give you any type of guidelines on that, or is it really just this is the logical order on? See, that's where my frustration is. It's kind of like, I want to know how you want it set up. I'll set it up that way, and I'll meet the demand, and everything's good. When it's an unknown, and then it's like you set yourself up for the potential of somebody going, "Why did they put this when it should be over there?" And it's like, I don't know. I'm not a banquet guy. And the merchants don't tell you anything, so it becomes a little frustrating for me. But that's just my personality type. So I guess my solution down the road is just ask the customer, how do you want this? They're buying my time, so it's like I'm just going to tap into the questions are the secret to success. They're one of the secrets to success. The better you are at asking questions, the more potential success you may have. From asking AI to Google to people that are around you. Use your words, as I was always taught. And as you can see, I'm a little fluffy right now too. It's like I need a haircut, but I purposely did not get myself a haircut. And the reason why I didn't give myself a haircut was because I wanted to show that I've been so busy that I haven't had time to get a haircut. And I wanted it documented in this video, in this debut. All right, so it looks like they're saying that the hotspot is going to be in Einstein, which again is kind of like there's two different ways I look at this. One, everybody's looking for breakfast, get their little sandwich and their smear. Two is, are they migrating you that way because there might be a catering order? But then again, it's kind of like, hey, if you're really chosen to do a catering order, then in my experience, you get called to a lot of those when you're really in that designated position. And it's like, I would have already got that job 8 minutes away to start heading on on over there to go pick it up. So when they're just telling me that it's a hot spot, it's like, all right, this is probably just for a sandwich, and there may not even be anything over there. Says you put your balls and napkins and spoons to the left and the granola in the middle. And stuff. Just try to make it the best you possibly can. Yeah, I agree. That's common sense, but it's like, for me, when I start something brand new, it's like there's this anxiety, there's this learning curve, and then it transitions into second nature and a slam dunk. Yeah, it's like, oh, easy peasy. It's a breeze. Not a problem. Right now, I only have one catering order under me, so all I get more. For me, the way I tap into it, like I was mentioning earlier about, I am where I am right now because of everything that's happened inside of my life, from my military experience to a damaged relationship with my mom and my dad, going through a divorce, single child, then stepdad and siblings, computer technology, being a student of electronics, and then jumping into building computers, to fix computers, to networking, to setting up classrooms, to being an operations manager, to being a dispatcher, to being wanting to be a professional golfer, all the analytical skills, the communication skills, the thought process, all these are now being refined into this process, into being a YouTuber, a gig tuber, to managing multiple, things at once and doing 3 different opportunities and being a multi-app. All this stuff is coming together. And to be honest with you, it's like, as a kid, I had a dream, and I had a dream of electronics in a vehicle that were surrounding me almost in a wraparound configuration. And look, I produced it. It's hindsight is an amazing thing. Now, I'm also a student of somebody named Bruce Wilkinson, and he wrote a book called The Dream Giver, and I'm thinking about doing a series on this Dream Giver process. I've written a song on that, a very long, extensive song. But nonetheless, it just kind of talks about it after you've read the book and after you understand the process, and the song makes more sense. So the idea, the overall concept is the Dream Giver planted a seed in you, not for you to be successful, not for you to affect your family, but rather for you to solve a need for somebody down the road, somebody else's need. So then the question is, what is this all doing? And whose need is this fulfilling? Do they need to hear a message? Do they need a companion? Do they feel lonely? Do they feel like they just need that encouragement to go just a little bit harder, to stay just a little bit more focused? And I guess once we do these shows, we may find out. the bigger picture of this whole YouTube studio setup is to create a system that's going to reach on out and help people. And the more people that you help, then the more successful that you can become. So, man, it's just a slow Wednesday. Is today Wednesday? I believe it's Wednesday. Yeah, all the days run together. All the days run together. And here they're trying to tell me to go do a hotspot for a WD or WGD, a white glove. And you would think that the system would learn. I don't do retail grocery. I don't do those types of jobs. I don't shop. And I don't turn on alcohol, which I have had off for probably 5 months. But I will be turning alcohol on at, say, 10 o'clock. I find that the later that you turn it on, the less likely you're going to run into problems of somebody wanting their early morning fix or something along those lines, or they're still asleep because they ordered it ahead and you can't reach them, or the store's closed, or the truck hasn't arrived with the inventory. It just 10 o'clock just seems to be a sweet spot. So we'll be turning that on at 10 o'clock, I think. All right. So nobody was telling me that the music was way overpowering since for some reason I can't hear that music, which I find interesting. Now that sunlight is right on my computer screen. So we're going to flip around here. Doesn't help either. That doesn't help either. If we can move somewhere else, that means I can see the screen if I can, you know, get past the sunlight directly in my eyes. So yeah, I turned down yesterday two $19 plus white glove in home deliveries because again I'm holding true to I don't do them. I'm not going to scan bags of groceries that have already been scanned to put into their bins and scanned out to come to me and scanned out of my car to go somewhere else. And it's like, you know, enough is enough. I don't need that. For me, and DoorDash just has not learned this. They haven't found that middle ground. Um, they just don't seem to understand as programmers and employees of DoorDash because they have an employee mindset that as independent contractors our most valuable um, part of the calculation is time. It all revolves around time. And so scanning things from the merchant to put into my cart to then scan it, you know, once I actually get to the destination, and then I have to, you know, scan it out of my car to, you know, drop it off. And it's just like, no, it's not worth it. I mean, the human side of it, I wish that was there. I have no problem serving an individual. I have no problem, you know, helping out somebody that needs that help and wants the stuff brought in, or you know, can't lift something. I have no problem with that. That I love that. I love hearing the words of affirmation. I love to, you know, hear that, you know, wow, thank you so much, you know, because I'm in chronic pain. And so that portion of it I miss. The extra dollar, I don't care about the extra dollar. Um, it really is the scanning process. And why is that? Because maybe the labels didn't print properly. You're having a difficult time scanning. If you have a difficult time scanning, then that means you have to contact support. And I'm trying to do everything in my power, my ability to never, ever have to call support. This is 1195 going 15.1 miles and taking us way out of our zone. And so we're going to decline that because that would take us the 30 minutes just to get there, leaving us way out of our zone. So we're dropping from an 89 to an 88%. All right, $7 Filiberto is going 3.2 miles. We'll take that. Get on the move. So we're off to pick up at Filiberto's, and I was talking a little while ago how I'm a cut and dry kind of guy, and I use DoorDash to further my education on investing in stocks as well. Things like coming up with a strategy to try and reduce or eliminate emotion. I'm a numbers guy. If the math works, I take it. If something comes up and you have to spend more time at the merchant, was it really the formula that wasn't, correct, or was it that you didn't add in that potential fluff time? But isn't it really the reality that those merchants should have the product ready? And so does it really need to be a part of that calculation? And that's that fine tuning, that tweaking, that market knowledge, or knowing, how certain, merchants actually produce their product. Do they do it in a timely manner? Or are there always long delays? Do they lie to you when you come up to the counter and they tell you it'll be 3 minutes when it took, 12? Do they understand the value of time? And a lot of times I'll even teach that merchant. I'll teach them that, do you know why individuals get irritated and frustrated? It's because every 3 minutes that we're waiting at $20 an hour, it costs us $1. So if it's a $6 job that we're picking up and we end up waiting 9 minutes and being told that it would take 3 minutes, $1 versus $3 off of that, $6 original offer is quite a difference. And I think we all agree that we don't like working for free. We have our expenses. Now, granted, it all works out. Some, I know, try to calculate out as to whether or not somebody is a non-tipper. And I keep on trying to tell them, ultimately you're just evaluating the offer, not the individual. Either the numbers work or they don't. And if there is a tip afterwards or something along those lines, then fantastic. It just makes that offer that much sweeter, right? I may go in to go pick this one up. Just want to get some fresh water. Top off my ice, keep this stuff cold. I think that they're open at 6:16 right now. I love me a carne asada burrito. That's all I know. It's one of my go-tos. If I have the ability to pick one up. I usually do. So I will be right back. Like an additional 505 offer. Let's see, what was that? 505 for an additional 0.4 miles. Or as I say, here we go. Engage. Let's see, what do we have for lunch today? Today we have salmon and chicken fingers. Weird combination. But I think the mother-in-law, the 82-year-old mother-in-law, she wanted salmon, and everybody else didn't. So. I don't know if any of you have recognized this, but I'm almost like seeing a reduction of traffic. I think gas right now is $4.99 here in the Phoenix area, and I think it's people are starting to say, carpool, work from home. They're just not wanting to pay that $4.99 for 9/10 of a gallon. Now, this is one of the other problems that I have is when the sun comes up, not only the light faking out the camera, but how do I block the sun? Because I use suction cup mounts for the windshield to attach the camera's position that's suitable for the live. So it's like I almost need to have a partial strip because I don't think I can put a strip of a tint on the outside of the windshield. So the car wash, we just rip it off. So then I need it on the inside, but then the question is, well, the suction can stick to it. Or do I just go up to the suction cup and just block off a little piece? So it's like I need just a 1 foot strip of something. And because I can't just drop down the visor because the visor then blocks the camera. And you can't see me at all. These are all the little interesting things that you go through as somebody that's producing YouTube content. I have to pardon me, I snuck a piece of salmon. be right back. I go drop off this second order that was stacked on us. See where we're actually at. All right. I'll be right back. I will be right. That's the other thing that you have to learn is look into the camera. All right, off to our next destination, another apartment complex. I entered in that card to try to save some time. Apartment living is really interesting. Dropped it off at the customer's door, backed up to take a picture. Not making any noise, but the dogs, a couple of the dogs, alerted on the next door neighbor. So it's like, wow, every time this person orders food, the neighbor's dog goes bonkers. That could be a very interesting dynamic. It's 45-minute hour challenge that I have with the sunlight. Of course, that's just sunless until it takes about 45 minutes for it to get up and over the visor threshold. Let's see, where am I going? Go over here, right? It's a good visual. Oh. See how difficult this one's going to be. Looks like it's on the backside. That Arizona sun is something, man. All right, got that one. Like $15. Maybe I should face my fear of not doing Uber. It says tip guarantee is here. me to take a picture of myself. Thanks for verifying. All right, so guess what? We just took an Uber offer and we're pausing DoorDash. I don't know what I'm doing here. This is my first ever Uber order. But it was like $14 for like 7 miles. Beating anything that DoorDash is doing. DoorDash, like I said, you may be taking second fiddle. You may be taking second fiddle. I did what, my Uber? Now, what I find interesting and how it's doing that. How are you in my ear? I'm doing my first order on Uber right now. But I have no idea. I don't have Bluetooth turned on my headset, but yet Uber is coming through on my headset. You don't hear the driving navigations, do you? That is crazy. I saw the dollar amount and I didn't and the miles and I don't even know where I'm going. It looks like I'm going to a Walgreens. Interesting. So I have no idea how to I appreciate the spell correction. How are you coming through my ear right now? That's crazy. I do not have Bluetooth enabled. Is that because of the... Oh, you know what this probably is? This is the screen sharing that I set up earlier. And so the sound is going from my phone to my desktop, and my desktop is connected to my Bluetooth. Interesting. So since it's coming through my ear, you can't hear it. Wow. All right. So yeah, one of my other fears about turning on Uber was, am I going to be banking a money that I'm not going to be able to get when I need it to pay bills, et cetera, et cetera? And so today will be a test on that. I set up the bank account stuff yesterday, and I just need to be able to get that money out of Uber's account and into my account. Trying to understand this navigation stuff. So then I'm wondering too, I should probably set up some type of a reminder alarm so that in case I forget, so it's not going to end my dash on DoorDash. Multi-apping is a totally different animal. It'd be nice to. All right, so that hides that information. Shows me an overview of where I'm going. Click it once. Click it twice. I guess there might be some promo offer thing too, and I pull down the top menu. It says 0 of 1, so I don't know if there's some type of a deal going on. This is where I will be starting to talk to people. Hey, are you doing Uber? Do you do Uber? Explain to me what's going on. Not sure. Yeah, this is again one of my anxieties. But once you face that anxiety, there's the once word again. Once you face that anxiety and deal with that anxiety, then overcome that anxiety. And once you overcome that anxiety, then it becomes second nature. All right, so we're coming on up to the Walgreens location. I need to know more about this app. I don't know. I'm learning about the navigation right now, but like where are the order details? All right, I will be right back. I'm gonna go try and figure out this app. As far as I know, it's just slide this and slide that. So we'll be right back. Well, they don't open up for another. They don't open up for another 10 minutes. Technically 8 minutes. Delivered by 7:04 when I can't even pick it up until 7 o'clock. See, this is where normally I would take a nap. So I'm going to use this time to eat a little salmon. Still waiting. Still waiting. All right, they might be open. Let me go check. I think I just saw somebody walk in, so I'll be right back. Thanks, Connor. All right, so we're back in the car. Got that picked up. Well, they were only going to give me one package out of two, but luckily I saw that there was supposed to be two packages. So I said, "Really? Is it just the one package?" Oh, yeah. I guess you're supposed to have this bigger package over here too. Oh, thank you. That helps. I don't need that to be my first experience of not having all of the information. All right. So it should take about 7 minutes to go drop this one off. A little frustrating that it. Right, well, you don't need to be over there. Let me shut off that other feature. Could be talking in my ear anymore. All right, I am. I'm going. Here we go. Here we go. Interesting experience. I don't necessarily like the black line on the navigation. Just a little pet peeve, I guess. It to me. Right on East Mountain View Road. Oh no, we don't need that. Is there a way of shutting that off? Is there a way of shutting that off? Really? There's no way of shutting that off? Somebody will teach me down the road how to shut that off.
Just ahead, turn right on North 100th.
Can I shut you off like we shut off DoorDash? Just turn down the volume.
Turn right on North 100th Street.
Oh, I guess that doesn't work. Nice. Toyo, how do you shut off the volume? I got it. Never mind. I figured it out. Take that, Uber Eats. Sometimes it really helps to tap into your technical skills and capabilities. Just can't be afraid to try something, knowing that usually you can undo whatever it is that you just did.
You have a text message.
We've added Kendra to our text group. Welcome to our text group. I'm sure that the boys will enjoy having your company. So Sean was just greeting Kendra in the group text. A lot of times I have audible alerts. I've got the go. I've got the text message, Facebook message, or whatever to let me know, exactly what's going on instead of just different tones. But I really need those like audibles when you've got so much going on. Plus makes it look like I'm a busy man when I got all this stuff going. I don't know if I keep on getting, $14 offers, versus these little 5 and 6, $8 offers from DoorDash. I might just be abandoning DoorDash. Been loyal for too long, I guess. A little competition. Ultimately, I'm out for, me and my family. That's the ultimate goal. So, and it means that because Uber sends you wherever, I could end up anywhere in the valley. Um, if it's worth it, then it just means I'm going to be ending dashes and starting new dashes. Might have to use this other phone over here for the different alarms and whatnot to remind me that my dash is paused, since I don't use two different devices for different opportunities. Got something going on. I don't even know how to message the customer or communicate with the customer inside of
You
Uber.
have a text message.
Aaron's piping in on the group chat. He's doing a road trip to go see his girlfriend.
You have a text message.
Sean, if you ever listen to this
You have a
again,
text message.
if you ever listen to this again, you'll notice that there has not been any honking of the horn. There has not been any honking of the horn from me or from anybody else. Maybe a little courtesy tap if you don't leave the intersection, when the light changes. I think everybody here is afraid of pistoles. Everybody's a little bit nicer out here.
You have a text message.
Yes, Aaron's saying that he's in Texas already. So he's updating Kendra as to what his location is on his journey to go see Haley. 7 people watching. I appreciate it. That's interesting. Where are we at with our DoorDash? It says I got 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So we're going to resume that. We pause that. Jump on over here. Just missed my turn.
You have a text message.
This will be interesting. God. This is going to be crazy. Turning on apps, shutting off other apps, matching of offers. Is this profitable? Doing the math. This is exactly why Tommy, what? This is exactly why it is that I wasn't doing this. So fight through it. Fight through it. Learn the system. It's like, who's going to get the best offer? When do you actually turn on DoorDash again? Because if I turn on DoorDash as I'm walking up with items in my hand up to somebody's door, and the chimes start going off, and it's like trying to handle somebody's order while you have something else going. Better time to flip that on, which I would assume, hey, drop off the Uber, but then if Uber is going to rapid fire send stuff to you, I mean, I got 2 or 3 offers within a minute on Uber. It just, first one was a Home Depot that just did not seem like it was, profitable. It's like, where's the stuff going? It's not like it's necessarily all going to be inside of the same zone. So then I switched zones with DoorDash. I have no idea what that's going to mean. Right now, I don't know. I'm just trying to make money. Yeah, the 7 viewer dasher. That's right. And then it'll be 70. It'll increase in volume eventually. And technically, you probably made number 8. Nonetheless, I appreciate you coming on in. Good night. Good night. Where are we going? We're going to New York Bagels. That's where we're going. That's where we're going. You're not going to find the $17, $25 jobs that you find out on the East Coast. We've got 90 square miles just in the Kierland zone by itself. And now with Uber, going all over the valley, but you don't have the congestion that you do inside of some of the East Coast cities. Dollar volume, where the volume is going to be down compared to what it is over there. The offer value is going to be down. It really is a matter of putting in the time and the quantity out here on the west side. Find out how much I've banked or how much my current total is on Uber. I've nothing. I am totally clueless right now, just kind of learning on the fly. I can understand the anxiety. I mean, it's been 6 years since I felt this kind of anxiety from, DoorDash. But now all of a sudden jumping in with Uber Eats and with Expedite, the anxiety level starts to go up. This is a New York Bagels and Bailey's. I've never been here before, even though it's just on the outskirts of my zone. So let's go meet some new people. Let's go make some new merchant friends. Be right back. And don't wake up Mr. Morgano. He's sleeping. Picking up a New York bagels order. It's already picked up. Heading up. 4.4 miles. Says it should take about 11 minutes. It seems like Uber Eats is going to dominate. That's what it appears like. And so it looks like, once the chimes start going off for Expedite, that's going to dictate what's going on for tomorrow. And then it looks like Uber Eats is going to dominate and DoorDash is going to take second fiddle. That's what it looks like. Yeah, it looks like Uber is going to dominate that. And then the only thing that we have to do is, well, do we? Try to maintain platinum, managing the declines. It's like if DoorDash, is giving us an acceptable offer, we'll take it. I'm not going to be dropping a DoorDash order in order to be able to upgrade to an Uber. At least that's what my tentative thoughts are, my initial thoughts. Yeah. I guess the more that you can handle, the more money you'll make. So might be worthwhile learning this. I was going to do 2 other shows today, but I think I have a lot to digest just from this morning. So I think I'm going to ease into those other ones and just slowly ramp them up. Look at this real quick. So this is only going for another hour and a half that we're doing the stream for. There's so much still to learn. I'm gonna have to change my quick messages. I noticed when I was leaving a message to say that I had left their order at the door, it says, thank you for using DoorDash. But I don't want to be sending that to my Uber customers. So I had to do a quick edit on that. But that needs to be updated and changed. Started at 4 o'clock. It should be at $70 so far at a pace of $20 an hour. I don't think I'm there, but again, I don't know where the running total is for earnings on Uber Eats, or if there even is that resource. So many questions. That's one of the challenges too of being a 1099. It's you're not an employee, so you really don't have any onboarding process. Maybe a quick video here, a quick video there, but really you're looking for people who are making content and putting it out on the different social media platforms so that you can learn. Otherwise, you're being thrust into the fire to try and learn how to do this. But just like myself right now, I'm not giving you step by step, solutions. I'm telling you what I'm searching for and if I found it, but not giving you examples and not a hands-on approach. So I can see where the irritation, the frustration would come in with somebody who's trying to learn this, but ultimately the desire to succeed has to be so great to help you power through that. Once you tap into that, power, then I guess you are unstoppable. But it's just a matter of, learning those different processes and those different steps that you have to go through in order to successfully utilize these apps. Oh, where's that sneaking in from? Stop it. All right. Getting close to dropping here. Just unpause DoorDash before dropping this off. Let's see. But that's gonna affect the on time rating. But does that really have a bearing or not? I don't know. So we're pausing DoorDash again. And it's going to be a race between DoorDash and Uber Eats as to who's going to give me a qualifying offer first. And I can almost tell you, I believe that Uber has DoorDash beat hands down in that category. I was just getting rapid fire offers, from Uber Eats, while DoorDash is still sitting there thinking. You know, I really have to focus on where it is that I'm going because I just missed my turn. That's fine. Whatever. This is meat at Sweet A. A3. That says nothing. There's A1. There's A2. There's A3.
Sense. Media cooler. Sweet A3.
Hey Roy, what's up, buddy? Trying to learn how to do Uber Eats, Roy. Third delivery with them, or second delivery with them. Don't know where anything's at. $1,000. No. Right now, the goal is to eventually, within hopefully the next couple of months, to consistently make somewhere between $450 and $500, dollars or more. But I'm finding it a challenge multi-apping. I'm just so new at this, even though I'm of DoorDash experience. Just like bells and whistles and everything going off and not knowing where things are in the Uber Eats app and how to swipe this and contact that and shut off the voice on navigation. It's like, Roy, like the whole idea of focusing just on all right, so we're gonna take this offer. Got an 885 going 5.6 miles on DoorDash. Now, question is, I don't know how to shut off Uber Eats. Go offline. Okay, so we just shut them off. Shutting off my alarms. All right, so we're on a DoorDash order right now. This is crazy. All right, let's go. Yeah, it's just first come, first serve, and who's meeting my my requirements. So, hey Heather, welcome to the stream. Just trying to learn all this stuff. Just trying to learn all this stuff. What do we got going on here? It's probably gonna be jumping from location to location. I just shut off. Oh, that's Expedite. Jeez. Ah! What do we got going on with Expedite? Gotta find the Expedite. I don't even know where Expedite's at. Please check my internet connection. My internet connection's fine. These are open order boards. See, now I'm working in a zone that I'm not familiar with, so it's not like driving somewhere, second nature. I switched zones because Uber took me outside of my current zone, and so that's a whole new learning curve. And it's really trusting GPS and trying to find these different locations, but you're relying on that navigation as to where you have to turn, and then you're getting notifications from other apps and everything. I'm located out in Scottsdale, Arizona. Currently, we're in Scottsdale, Arizona, but Uber could take us, virtually anywhere. So, same with catering. Like I've never been to this location because we've switched from my Kierland zone to the Scottsdale Arcadia zone. Now I'll have to talk to a couple of my other buddies that I taught this system to, and they're refining it, and ask them, do they, how do they actually do this process? Do they actually switch zones, or do they keep the single zone for, DoorDash, and then just keep on trying to migrate back to that area? So, all right, be nice in the chat. I will be right back. I'm here picking up at Black Rock Cafe. Be right back. No, I'm not far from Aaron. He's out in Chandler, probably about 20 minutes away. I am far from him right now because he's in Texas. All right, so we're back in the car. Here we go. Looks like about 5 miles, 10 minutes away. Show on the road. I'm sure all this stuff will become second nature. More and more that you do it, the better you get. Um, it's just frustrating. I'm not an individual who likes change. You know, I like things honed in, doing things on a repetitive basis. Gradually working my way up, and jumping into the fire like this is not normal for me whatsoever. This is not how I usually operate. It's one thing to know DoorDash's app inside and out, so that when you need to find something, bing, 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 you're there. You know where to find it. And I'm sure it'll be the same for Uber Eats eventually, but right now it's like click what's this, click what's that, and you're looking for the information, and it's just a little frustrating. So I haven't jumped in on any of your lives lately, Roy. I apologize. And chances are, because I'm doing my own stuff now, I don't know that I'll be over there. Uh, um, hopefully, you're doing good. Hopefully, you're doing good. I really do appreciate you stopping by. I'm just a nobody out here trying to become somebody. One of the biggest takeaways that I get from doing all this type of stuff is that it's not just me in the car. Because when you're out here and you're grinding, 18 hours a day, you only have your merchants, your customers, if you can get them to come out, beyond the door. Some do because I announce that I've arrived, and they'll meet me at the door, so that you're not just, you know, saying, "Hey, enjoy your meal" to a door, but actually get to speak with a live person. Um, we all need that human interaction. I've tapped in a lot to merchants, and they know me by name, and I know them by name. It'll be interesting now, since I'm expanding my horizons and going to new places. Uh, that means going through that whole process again of learning people, and then it comes down to I'm a 62-year-old man. Will I have the memory capacity and capability, you know, to remember all this stuff? Uber never let you drive for them. Not even Uber Eats. I can understand, Uber rides, not having a proper vehicle or something along those lines. I'm not going down that avenue. I'm not testing that out. Um, so, like, you were like on an endless waiting list, or you just never pursued it any further. I see even this experience now. I'm on DoorDash, but I'm outside of my zone. It means I'm not going to have gate codes for a lot of these apartment complexes, and I'm going to have to start gathering that content from across the valley. As people give me apartment complexes, store that information inside of beans and gated communities, and expand on the master list of all the gated communities. But yeah, a bit of a learning curve. Hey, Gatefoot, welcome to the live stream. Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you stopping by. Toyo, I appreciate you welcoming people into the community as well. It's a big help. Trying to keep my eyes on the road and multitask, so it's nice to know that you have my back. Well, that stinks. I'm like disqualified from doing a lot of things on DoorDash as well. They because somebody had fraud on my account, I can't refer people. You know? I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Toyo. Well, here, let me show you the rest of the story here. This is what the actual setup looks like. See if I can pull it up on the screen here. Switch it over. Click, 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 click. Things change. Bells and whistles. The challenge is, you're looking at 15 degrees to your right or whatever, and that means, eyes are not directly on the road. So I've got the stream in front of me, so I have the ability to see things, as far as the chat. I to enlarge that font as much as possible. Throw it up on stage. I've got to go, further to the right to the laptop. Yeah, you can sit there, gentlemen, sir. Thank you. I hope that's a compliment towards Roy there, Toyo. I'm sure it is. I don't know who that individual is. Razor Ramon. See another content creator. Roy must know. See, now you've intrigued me. I've got to figure out who that is with what little time I have left. So countdown 1 hour. We're going to be ending the stream in an hour. Just want to give you guys some notice. So these are, I'm not doing long 12-hour streams. I feel that people aren't going to want to stay engaged for that long. Some people aren't even going to want to stay engaged for 4 to 5 hours of doing what we're doing. So I'm just kind of breaking this down into like little 4 or 5 hour segments 3 times a day. But I'm only going to be doing one today. Still have a bunch of stuff that I need to learn. Oh, a WWF star, like a wrestler? I'll have to. I got a laptop right here. I guess I should just do a Google search. All right, Gigfoot. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Looks like we're here at our drop. All right. I'm sure that I will, Toyo. I'm sure that I will. I'll probably say, yeah, that is what Roy's like. So I was out really quick to pick up something else. So Walmart's hiring, huh? I didn't turn on. This is where my challenge is. See, this is a barely $20 an offer job. It's a little $4 and some odd cents job going 4 miles down the road. Dunkin' Donuts, not in my zone. Don't know anything about this merchant. Don't know what any of their characteristics are as far as if they're fast or slow. And I did not turn on DoorDash, Uber Eats fast enough. But if I would have said no to that one, bam, I take a hit on my acceptance rate. And then the question is, does the acceptance rate even matter anymore? Do I need to manage that if I have Uber? And do I just start to cherry pick? And that seems to be the natural default way of doing it if you're a multi-apper, is that you cannot try to maintain platinum, and that means that you're just going to be sorting through a bunch of crap offers all day long. So I don't know. I don't know. I can tell you I don't like this. So let's change this back to the different camera. Change that back to that. It is so much easier just to put the time in, put in the 18 hours, make $400 a day by starting early and ending late. So the question is it really worth it to going out there and try and multi-app, or should I focus on doing DoorDash but just trying to get up in the pecking order on Expedite? Is it just go pay the piper, do the grunt work at first just to get the deliveries under the belt wherever it takes you in the valley, or did I expand my zone too large and I need to shrink that down so that they're not sending me offers that are halfway across the state? Yeah, I think I probably made a mistake there. I encircled the whole metropolitan area, saying that I'd be willing to take just about anything. So much to think about. So much to think about. Ugh. I feel like right now, I mentioned earlier that I think I have like depression. And when things aren't working the way that I want them to, I want to shut down. I just want to curl up into a ball. I want to go to sleep. I want to think about this stuff, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm just like, this was the grand plan. These were the results. Even though I teach plan, do, review. So we had a plan. We're doing it right now, and then we'll review it. Um, wow, just my mind right now is trying to wrap it around taking care of the family, taking care of the finances, generating the revenue, trying to run a live stream, trying to make sure the technology is compatible and working together, trying to make decisions about the 3 different apps that I'm currently using. And my mind right now is just on overload. I don't have a headache yet, so it says my processor is not overheating, which kind of tells me, hey, look, this is what you you know, planned to happen, and it's coming into reality. So there's really no overthinking. It's just like right now we're monitoring the data, and it's just like the functionality of the tools and how do you work all this stuff, and do I have to have a different type of a timer or a different device in order to not get kicked off. My big fear is losing platinum, and that's because if I lose platinum, then I may have my schedule restricted. And then it's like, well, does that ultimately make any difference if Uber is going to be able to take over? But then you're captive to Uber. And so I don't know that I really want to be captive to Uber. I don't know if I want to be an Uber captive. We are holding you prisoner. Oh, we gotta see. It's like I'm tired. I got 4 or 5 hours of sleep last night, and I should be refreshed. And right now, I feel like I want to park somewhere and curl up into a ball and take a nap. That's how I feel right now. I'll be right back. Oh, let's see here. Not sure if, but I'm in the process as well of creating a Discord. So of course that did not work. Let's try that again. Did that create a link? Let's see what that does. No, that didn't work either. Never mind. Whatever. I have to go make a delivery. Again, this is stuff that I would normally have sitting off to the side. I will figure that out. But there is a Discord that I'm creating right now, and it's coming together, but it's like an empty house. And of course, it's empty because I can't even share a link to it. It's like, get your stuff together, dude. Get your stuff together. All these bells and whistles and resources, and links, and information. What advice are you giving there, Roy? Says, I would, since you're new on Uber, I would concentrate on it until you get it down pat. That's just me. Yeah. Maybe just take a break from DoorDash for a while so that I'm not doing damage to that. I think that's some sound advice. I think, I've always kind of believed in that too. It's kind of like, focus on one horse. Let me throw my seatbelt on. Focus on one horse and take it across the finish line. Instead of trying to do too many things at once, that creates that stress environment. So I think that's sound advice. Hone that skill. See, it's not that it won't work. It's that the skill level just isn't there yet, right? It's that the skill level's not there. This is probably the easiest way to share the Discord instead of the branded information. Let's see if so. That's the Discord link straight from Discord instead of my rebranded one that I'm probably typing in incorrectly. No charge, no fee, no content. It's just an empty shell. But if you want to join, there's probably 3 or 4 people that are in there so far. They're busy with their own schedule. It's all a process. Things are slowly going to grow, but it just takes one step at a time. See, I've never even switched zones. I've never even switched zones with DoorDash before. I've always picked up in Kierland, left the area, and came back to Kierland. So now I'm in Scottsdale, Arcadia, which was my original stomping grounds before jumping over to Kierland when I gave up my dispatcher job and turned DoorDash into a full-time opportunity. But I really don't have any desire to dash in Scottsdale, Arcadia. It's too close to ASU and college, and Tempe and whatnot. So I don't know. So I think we might take one more offer, run that out, end the live stream. It's supposed to end in 38 minutes. End the live stream, end my dash here in Scottsdale, Arcadia, beeline it back over to Kierland. Watch this stream to find out the flaws and how to correct those flaws, and prepare for tomorrow. And might turn on Uber, just for tonight and everything. Not sure. See what comes in as far as Expedite and new possible opportunities for tomorrow. But that's kind of the show. That's our game plan. So nothing spectacular. No catering job after catering job after catering job. Never promised that. It's really just a matter of putting in the time, making the $20+ per hour, starting early, staying out late. And we started early and got bad orders. Got a bad McDonald's offer, where they ordered off of the lunch menu. So let's see where we're going here. Connor, right now we're dropping off a Dunkin' Donut. Arizona eye specialist. What's that there? Not lucky with that. Right now we're on a small $4 and some odd cents opportunity. $4.55 for 4.8 miles from Dunkin' Donuts. Be right back. All right. Like I said, I have no desire to dash in this area, so I just ended my dash here for DoorDash and heading on over to the other zone, my original zone. Don't. I might, since I already have Uber, I might just do an occasional job here and there just to have some filler. I think what I might do is I might say, okay, what catering offers are there in my dash from DoorDash? Take Uber jobs that are going to migrate me back towards my Kierland zone for DoorDash, and then shut off Uber and continue doing DoorDash. That's probably going to produce a loss of revenue, I guess, with the hope that as you move up through the ranks of catering that you might get better opportunities. But then again, do I really want that? I don't know. This is not going in the direction that I want it to go in. So I might be strongly considering giving up catering, giving up Uber, focusing on DoorDash, putting in the time, getting out of debt, piling up some cash, start investing. I think that doing Uber and doing catering, that's just going to grind me down. I think if I did that, I would not be able to continually do live streams. If I'm not doing the live streams, then yeah, I don't know. I don't like the idea. I don't like the idea of extreme cherry picking. I don't. I don't like the idea of DoorDash saying that I cannot get on the schedule and then being limited only to Uber Eats. I don't. I don't like that either. think I'm gonna have to call my friends. You're gonna tell me I'm foolish. Whatever. All right, I'm gonna end this early. I got things to think about, so I appreciate you stopping by. Sorry for the abrupt ending, but it is what it is. Talk to you later.